What's up, you guys? I'm back with another video. My name's Grady and I listen to country music on this channel, and I apologize that it's been a full week since my last video. Job stuff was crazy, but I'm back. Not a big deal, and I'm back with a really cool video, and I'm going to do one of these now that we're approaching. This week will be halfway through 2018, which is crazy, and so I want to do my top 10 songs of 2018 so far. Now, this list is going to be in no particular order because I don't want to give stuff away for the year-end list of kind of where things are falling in my rankings, but I'm going to cover the 10 songs that right now are my top 10 songs of the year. Another caveat on this is that it is I'm not going to include more than one song from an album, just so we can have like a kind of nice variety. Because there are a couple albums where I'm like, oh man, I would really include 2 songs from this album, but I'm not going to do that. So let's just jump into this thing. First song I want to talk about is Ashley McBryde's Girl Going Nowhere. This song floored me when I heard it the first time. I actually saw her play it at the Grand Ole Opry, and that is an incredibly moving performance, probably one of the most moved musical moments of my past year. She is singing about how everyone thought she was a girl that was going nowhere, that she didn't have much of a future in music, and it's like, it's nice that you're a dreamer, but let's be real here. And it's about playing a show and seeing no empty chairs, and she says that this hook that I'm listening to right now, not bad for a girl going nowhere. That's an incredible hook. It's really hopeful. It's really just a beautiful song about playing music and about having to believe in yourself and about that communal experience, that magic that happens when she's playing music. And I'm telling you, go watch that Opry video. This song is really the anchor of her debut major label album, Girl Going Nowhere. I totally recommend checking it out. Garth covered this. Garth has a good ear for good songwriting a lot of the time. He sings it as God Going Nowhere, but love this song. Love it. The next song I'm going to cover is from an album that I actually haven't talked about yet on this channel, but you'll see it in the June album roundup, and it's American Aquarium's One Day at a Time. This is a beautiful, beautiful song, and I don't want to talk too much about it before the review, but it's essentially about him growing as a person. BJ Barham, the lead singer. It's about BJ growing as a person, getting past his alcoholism, and learning to be patient with himself and take life one day at a time. It's a very reflective and self-critical song about his past and how he used to, rip apart girls that broke up with him in songs. And he has a few lines that says, "Truth became a martyr for the sake of the song." So he would just lie about who they were in music because he felt like he could. There's another line in this song where he says, as he's processing why he's even making music in an industry that is so surrounded by alcohol and temptation. He says, songs fulfill a human need to stand up and watch another man bleed. And that's kind of what he's doing in the song. He's just saying, this is my dark side that I'm trying to move on from. And it's so beautiful because I do think that we all relate to demons in some way. And we all have them. And we can say we don't, but we do. And I love BJ Barham's writing because he always captures that. And that's so clear in this song. Next song on my list is Cry Pretty by Carrie Underwood. This song was Carrie's comeback after her accident, and it's definitely bombastic. It definitely hits you hard in the face right off the bat, and I don't know that it has had as much staying power for me as other songs that I've heard this year, but I still love this song because we're getting to see Carrie's heart a little bit. Or at least that's how it seems. I'm glad she's dropping the storyteller thing and letting us in a little bit more. That's really, really exciting. I mean, she's incredibly famous and has had a huge career, and I like that this song kind of takes that into account, that it's coming from sort of this Barbie doll of country music, and she's saying, like, I can do a lot, and I can do a lot of acting, and I can lie a little bit. I can't do sadness in a pretty way, and I'm sorry. It's been a little ironic seeing how the music's rolled out, and like it's kind of her injury. I don't know. I felt like there was all this build up, and she was hiding her face, and then she showed it, and she looked the same, and so it's been a little confusing because it seems like, oh, you're still pretty though. It's okay. It doesn't really take away from how excited I was when the song first came out, but I think it's like her vocal soars on this. The guitar solos sound really awesome, and the lyric is super strong. So, love it. My next song is I Don't Remember Me by the Brothers Osborne. Their new record, Port St. Joe, that album is having a lot of staying power with me, and I think it's an incredible record. And this song, I Don't Remember Me, I just like it more and more the more times I hear it, because I love the ambiguity of it. It's talking about a relationship that the narrator is currently in, and the lyric, I don't remember me before you, is really compelling to me, because he talks about how the person he heard he used to be. I heard I used to be a wild one, but that was a long, long time ago. And I like that you can't tell if he's regretful or happy that he's not that person anymore. He just is different. He just is changed. It's sort of matter of fact. And it's a really lovely melody. It really shows off that kind of the painfulness in who's the main singer? TJ Osborne, in his voice. I think he just carries it really well, and it's a really weird, beautiful song. I hope it's a single. The next song on my list is a true stunner. It's Caitlyn Smith's This Town Is Killing Me. It comes from her record Starfire, which you gotta check out if you haven't yet. I feel like Caitlyn Smith just needs some promo around her, and then she's like the next Adele. She has a crazy good voice, and the songwriting on this record is excellent. And nowhere is that more clear to me than the song This Town Is Killing Me, which, much like Girl Going Nowhere, is this lament of the Nashville musician, where no one's paying any attention to her, and because they just want everything to sound like the radio, and she's giving up. It's a moment of defeat, where she says, this town is killing me. Oh, it's so, so good. I don't know. That's all I'm going to say about it. Go check it out. It's better than my description. The next song on my list is one called Open Flame. It's from Courtney Patton's record, What It's Like to Fly Alone. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, What It's Like to Fly Alone. It's a really, really good record. Courtney Patton is a Texas country artist. She's married to Jason Eady. They're kind of one of the, maybe, I don't know if they're the king and queen. Yeah, I'm going to call them the king and queen of Texas country. But they are both incredible songwriters. And my favorite song on her last record was this song Open Flame, where it sort of sets up this idea that she could cheat if she wanted to, but it would be better for the two people that are, sitting around this open flame to not do this. I like the imagery of the flame. Flames and fire in general are very connected to desire, and this song, it has a slow way of moving, and it feels a little bit tenuous, a little scared, and a little bit attracted, just like the narrator in the song does. So I really like that it's toying with the idea of cheating, but ultimately she says, let's not do this. That's a really cool, nuanced subject matter. I think she delivers it really well. I like that it's commitment focused instead of sort of the fun, cheap card of rebellion or an affair. I really, really, really like this song. The next song on my list, and probably like one of the only up-tempo songs that I'm going to be covering today, is Florida Georgia Line's Simple. Don't get mad at me that in a best song video I'm covering Florida Georgia Line. The song's good, and the more times I've heard it, the more times I've thought this song is good. It's kind of like Florida Georgia Line gone Mumford or whatever, but I don't care. The idea of this song is that some things you don't gotta overthink, including their love. Sometimes it's just simply good. And Florida Georgia Line has always known their way around a hook. When Cruise came out, and before anyone had any thoughts about who Florida Georgia Line was, everyone loved that song. And I still love that song. I gave it an A- in Entertainment Weekly, in fact. And so, I just think people that are hating on them, they need to open their mind and hear that, like, this song's kind of a jam. And I think the idea that they're spelling, that they're counting 1, 2, 3. That's grown on me because it goes with the theme that things are simple. It is childish, but it's really, really well written. And so I'm down for it. I think Tyler Hubbard's voice actually sounds really good on this. I kind of like his thick drawl. I like the clapping and the whistling. It is truly fun. I have not been able to get at all cynical about the song, and I don't want to be. I like it. The next song on my list, and this is no surprise if you've been watching this channel, is People Get Old by Lori McKenna. What a song. This is the only perfect score I've ever given on this channel. I gave this song a 10 out of 10. I misinterpreted one little verse about halfway through the song, if you go back and watch that video, and thought she might be talking about a lover. But the more times I've listened to this, the more I've realized this is a song about her father, and she's reflecting on him getting older just as she's getting older, and kind of becoming more and more like him. Almost like there's this secret inertia that's just carrying her into becoming the same man that he was. The song is so good. It is so relatable and universal. Everyone has parents and everyone's getting older. And I think Lori captures that terrifying reality really well. That you are just pushing in a direction and you're getting older. And she does it in the most lovely little details. I think about the light switch, and I think about their fishing trip that she talks about. It's so vivid and so beautiful. I cannot wait for her record next month, guys. Here's another one that's not surprising if you've watched my channel for a while. It's Dierks Bentley's Son of the Sun. I really think The Mountain is an incredible record that he just released, and this is my favorite song on it, and I'm kind of surprised it is. Obviously, I'm drawn to sort of, sad ballad type songs and ones that really cut right into your soul. But I really like this moment of simple self-reflection from Dierks Bentley, where he is holding the fact that he wants to be wild and the fact that he wants to be committed in tension with each other, and doing so uncynically. There's a lot of details I love in this song. He says words like cactus blossom. He says words like desert air. I really get that kind of natural thing that he's trying to do, where he's painting a whole landscape for you and saying that he relates on a level to that. I think that's super beautiful, and I think the song is really like the thesis statement of his last record, and maybe that's why I hold it in such esteem. Because there's songs that I admit are hookier and would definitely be bigger hits, but this one just does something to me. I relate to it. The last song on my list is Rainbow by Kacey Musgraves. I've been a huge fan of the song for a very, 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 very long time, ever since I heard her play an acoustic version of it, and I just think that the conceit of this song that is playing on the idea of someone that's got a storm cloud hanging over their head, and Kacey Musgraves is kind of just being that person's cheerleader and saying, cheer up, it's like, I've always seen a rainbow hanging over your head. It's so beautiful. And she doesn't even need to explain that it's not a cloud over your head, it's a rainbow. She just says it and relies on the fact that we understand that to be a cultural norm. So it makes you feel a little bit smart as a listener. But it's such a hopeful and kind thing to say to anyone. This song, especially in Pride Month, it will always, and I think Kacey invites this, be associated with LGBT causes. But I really think that it's so much more universal than that. And I said that in my review of the album. I really think that everyone feels really depressed and down on themselves sometimes. And having someone say, like, that I see tons of colors around you, and I think you're great, and you can stop feeling sorry for yourself because you're better than you think you are. Man, that's a kind thing that people need to hear. And especially, I think, in this digital age, this song is really like a soothing balm to the anxious person that is scrolling through things and thinking, I'm not that person, and I'm not who I want to be. Rainbow is kind of an answer to that, and I think it's beautiful, and I think it will be a classic on Golden Hour, right alongside Space Cowboy, which I think is also a classic. So those are my top 10 songs. I would throw an honorable mention out there to Diane by Cam, but it technically came out in 2017, so I had compiled 11 songs, and I was like, well, I'll just cut this because it's a technicality, but I do think Diane's a pretty awesome song too. And you can hear me talk more about that in 10 country singles that I've actually liked in the past year. That's another video I have. I know a lot of these weren't singles. Maybe I should do, at the end of the year, like my top 10 songs and my top 10 singles, so that it's not just all album deep cuts. But that's what I'm going to do for this midway point right now. There's my top 10 songs of the year so far, and I'm sure there are many I'm missing. You can't listen to all music, and not everything's going to hit every person the same way. So let me know what the songs I absolutely got to check out are in the comments. I always love hearing your guys' recommendations. You're very smart, and you have really good taste, with some exceptions. But on the whole, you guys rock. Give this video a like. Subscribe to my channel if it's your first time here. I'll do one of these for albums, and I got a bunch of reactions coming up this week. So I look forward to seeing you guys a bunch more. Later, y'all.